Hello, today I'd like to showcase the capabilities of the 2018 Nissan Murano on snow. As you can see, my driveway is more or less not prepped, except for driving around in that vehicle to get around. So in today's video, first let's remote start it. In today's video, I've got a few cameras set up. I've got this one here going on. And I've got another one back here, which is going to capture a wider angle. Perfect. Okay, so this one here is going to capture this area here. What I'm trying to do is just drive the car onto the main road and then come back. So I've got this camera showing however wide it can. I've got the other camera capturing this vehicle coming out to this unprepped area right here, and then I've got this one here which will show the inside of the vehicle, what kind of struggles I'd be facing. So let's drive. As you can see back here, this one is an all-wheel drive model, so your results may vary, but I wanted to show you at least what the vehicle itself can do. I do not expect to break the rules of science. You know, the laws of physics are still going to apply here. But it's not too bad. It's kind of cold though. Get in, do that. Nice. Okay, I see what it tells you. It tells you it's 21 degrees Fahrenheit. It's pretty cold. My heated steering wheel is on. That's great. And let's just start driving. It doesn't really allow you too many different settings. At best, you get the VDC off, and I'd love to show you what that does. Could be an advantage, but it could be a disadvantage if you don't really know what you're doing with it. The best I can tell you is leave the car on auto, just put it in drive, and drive. Well, obviously no trouble there. Didn't really expect anything. Put it in reverse. Back up to my spot. I should mention that my tires are pretty decent, so I wasn't really expecting any trouble per se. And as you can see, there's that spot over there. You can, for the most part, get anywhere you need to go, you know? I usually pick the lazy route, and what I do is I just shovel out a path just to the door, and then everything else just gonna ignore it. Pretty simple. Like, the gauge cluster is not really showing any signs of struggles out there. I can, you know, as I said, drive, stop wherever I need to be, and just start driving again. And again, no problems expected. We've done a little bit of plowing in this area, a little bit, but as you can see, the roads are not all that great. But look. Okay, there you go. I can feel the slip now. But as long as you modulate your foot as you drive, everything's great. These tracks here were mainly made by me, using my other vehicle. I drove around a few times. And of course my neighbors did some driving too, but look at that. It's going everywhere it needs to. Obviously the speed is reasonable for snow, because if you were to do something stupid like, you know, try to speed and slam on your brakes, that's the part I'm saying the laws of physics are still gonna take, you know, basically take over. You'll skid around, and look at that. Gotta love living somewhere like this, huh? They basically plow right until your driveway. And again, you saw that pile? Yeah. I'm gonna drive through it. No struggles at all. Yep. So now I'm gonna go back home. As I said, this is gonna be a shorter video. The Murano doesn't really have too much else going on with it. On a normal day, the Murano is, oh, got my neighbors coming through. Better let them through. On a normal day, the Murano is a front-wheel drive vehicle, but when it detects slip, then the rear wheels come in and join. But I believe, you know, actually, let me go get back home and then I can do a demo. You can see the all-wheel drive versus the front-wheel drive happening. Again, this is pretty decent speed, you know? As I said, do something goofy and physics will take over. Let me slam on the brakes, see what happens. Do you hear that sound? Those are servos on the ABS pump, ABS module. ABS is anti-lock braking system. Okay, so watch what happens. Again, slam on the brakes while going around the corner. There you go. So right now, I want that camera to capture this part, that camera right there, to capture this part. I want you to see which wheels will be turning once I slam on the gas. Probably, I hope it is catching the other wheels spinning as well. Can't get stuck. So let's make it just a little more fun, a little bit. But first I'd like to verify. I'm going to go outside and make sure that that camera is indeed catching what I'm trying to show. This was created by that car. I've got another video on it that I'll be editing later, so it's a pretty busy time of the year for me. I usually say imperfect weather makes for perfect video opportunities. Yeah, this is a perfect place for this. Maybe I'll move it just a little bit. There you go. And then what I'm gonna do is bring the other camera, capture the other side. There you go. That's gonna have to work. All right. First thing I'd like to show is, let's show the wheels spinning. Put it in reverse. Then mash the gas. Mash the gas. Alright, I don't know if you noticed the RPMs over there, but I'm going to change the system. When I turn this on, watch what happens on the screen when I push the button. Okay, so those two lights right there. One, this one says VDC off, and typically with Nissans, if it turns on as orange, it's not a good thing. It's just letting you know that your safety systems are turned off. And then this one right here is a front collision. So watch what happens this time. Reverse, slam on the, mash the throttle. It still moves, and by the way, as I said, it's a feature that sometimes it's hard to demonstrate it. I kind of have to get it stuck to demo it properly, but generally VDC is one of those stability systems. It helps your vehicle stay stable. It uses the ABS system, the anti-lock braking system. So sometimes when it's working, when it's in motion, you can hear some servo, you can hear the basically as you're slipping around, your brakes, your VDC system is trying to brake sudden corners to make sure you stay stable. This being a front-wheel drive vehicle, it's pretty stable. Most of the weight being that the engine is in front is on the driven wheels, and since I have decent tires, slip is very, very unlikely. So kind of a tough to show this on a vehicle like this, unless maybe it had crappy tires, then I would do a demo of the VDC system. But if you're curious, check out my name, then VDC. I have a video on VDC and what it does for you in the snow, and I think it's actually titled, What Does VDC Do in the Snow? And you'll see it also allows you to rev your engine way, way higher. It's interesting with the 3.5 engines. It's not as crazy as I'd like, but I do have another system that you might actually be interested in seeing with regards to traction. Okay, turn that off. Pop the hood. Ooh, it is cool. Wow. Okay. What I'm looking for is a fuse. You know what? I'm not 100% familiar with where that fuse location is in the Nissan Murano, so I'm going to leave it for now. Maybe I can come back later, but I'll tell you what it is I was trying to do. I was trying to go for a fuse. It's called it's basically the all-wheel drive fuse. This fuse engages your transfer case to send power to the wheels that are not normally the driven wheels, right? So this is most Muranos. Let's say Murano is made as a front-wheel drive vehicle, but the all-wheel drive sends some power to the rear wheels, right? So if I were to pull that fuse, it would basically make the Murano front-wheel drive all the time. I do not know anybody that buys a front-wheel drive based all-wheel drive model and would want it to remain two-wheel drive all the time or for any reason, unless you've got some damage going on in the back. With the rear-wheel drive based all-wheel drive model, sometimes people remove the front, they make it now power the front wheels because they want to drift around and things like that. So in this vehicle, I guess I'll just say no point really. It doesn't really matter. Driving a Murano in the snow is very stable, borderline boring. There's really no challenge at all. But be that as it may, I want to go here and basically just park the car. Nothing else is going to happen. So get the cameras, set it back where it's watching the vehicle as I park it. But as I said, I really anticipate no issues at all. Absolutely zero problems. And we're back. So I'm not sure whether some people might have clicked on this video with the hopes that some snow-related or winter-related calamity would happen. Obviously, nothing bad has happened. I made the video just to show you the capabilities of the Nissan Murano, especially this all-wheel drive as it is, and I suppose very capable vehicles make for boring videos. Nothing bad happened. It does exactly what you expect it to do, and it does it pretty well. As long as you keep your wits about you, right? Make sure you drive at a decent speed, give yourself decent room to stop, and so that you don't, braking distance that is, so that you don't slide when you lock up your tires. You don't slide and end up hitting people. And one big thing with regards to traction, I'd say that is this: it doesn't really matter whether you've got front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, all-wheel drive, or anything else in between. The most important thing is that your tires need to be in good condition, and that helps you. Well, yes, having front-wheel drive in this case, with all the weight on the driven wheel, is a big advantage, but with all my vehicles, I've never really ever needed, my modern vehicles, I've never really needed to like put bags of sand or anything in the back. They've got so much technology to help keep them stable as you drive them. All the best, stay safe, and I hope you guys keep enjoying your Muranos as I do.